Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today I'm going to share with you a first look at the Ice Cream Corner suite from the upcoming January to June 2021 mini catalog, and it is on pages 48 and 49. Oh, sorry, I'm not actually supposed to show you all of that, am I? But I will show you the products. I'm not supposed to show you the inside of the catalog until January. Crazy, I know, but if you are in Australia and you aren't working with a demonstrator and you would like a copy of that catalog for your very own to look at as soon as you get it, let me know. Send me a message, and I'd be happy to pop one into the mail to you. Hello to Nikki and Gladys and Paula. Thanks for joining me today. Yeah, Nikki, my order is coming today, from last Tuesday is coming today. So yeah, we had delays here too, just because of the volume of orders placed, I'm sure. So here is the designer series paper from this suite. It's called Ice Cream Corner designer series paper. How appropriate is that? And as usually happens with Stampin' Up, one side is very much with the theme of the suite. So here are some pretty ice cream cones. And then the other side is more of a general pattern. And this one works really well to make ice cream cones out of. So there was a method to their madness there, and you can see it matches up with that. This one works really well to stamp over or just punch out to make popsicles, icy poles, or ice cream scoops. And then the back side, look at that Blackberry Bliss diagonal stripe. Yum, yum. There are some popsicles, or as they call them in Australia, icy poles, I believe. And the back side of that one is, oh, I love this multicolor stripe. I think I'm going to be using some of that today. And here's another one that can be used to stamp over or just punch out from, or use it as, splotchy background. That's pretty neat too. This one's got the green polka dots. And yet another one. That's a nice pattern. And it's got a nice subtle ombre in there too. I think you can see that. Sorry, the camera goes in and out of focus as I move this paper. And there's some soft serve ice creams with sprinkles on the back. So we set that aside. Show you a couple other things from this suite. Speaking of sprinkles, there are these Ice Cream Corner sprinkles, which are fun to make shaker cards, or if you're really ambitious to glue onto your card. And it has this lovely Blackberry Bliss ribbon, which I haven't opened yet. Let's see how challenging this is going to be today. But it's striped, and I think it's sheer between the stripes. Let's see if I can get this open. Noah has discovered frozen Kongs. For those of you who don't know, Noah is our 17-week-old seeing eye dog in training puppy that we're raising for 8 to 12 months. And he's getting his adult teeth right about now. And his chewing is better than it was when he first arrived. So I think I'm hopeful about that. There we go. But he's keeping busy right now with oh yes, it is sheer. Nice. sheer and striped. I think you can see that. So set that aside. And then I pulled out, oh, stamp set would be good to show you. There we go. I like these sizes of sentiments. We've been having small ones, and I'm especially excited about this big happy birthday. You know, I do a lot of birthday cards. And then there's this ice cream cone builder punch, which coordinates with these stamps. Fortunately, popsicles are easy to cut by hand, so that's good. But yeah, we've got this builder punch. I don't know why I thought it would be bigger, but it's smaller than I imagined, but that's fine. It's going to be cute to work with. And I pulled out all of the colors that are in the designer series paper for you to see, except there's one that we don't have a stamp pad for, and that's Purple Posy, because you might remember we had some difficulties with that ink, but I'll just pull out there we go. Purple Posy is also part of it there. So now I need to figure out what to make with this. And I decided that maybe what I would do is start by casing one of the examples in the catalog. Hi, Roseanne. Yeah, I was fortunate. I got the stamp set as a prize patrol in during our onstage at home event. So I was happy to have that. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to just break right into it here, because that's just how you got to do it. I'm going to cut it at 9 by 13.4. So that's a couple of layers in from my base, and I've got some Bermuda Bay here. Like I said, I'm casing the catalog in a lot of ways. So I'm gonna do this. That was 9. So I'm not actually gonna go up to 9.5. I'm gonna go halfway in between. Let me know if you can't hear me. I'm talking to you, but I'm semi-talking to myself. I don't want to be sure that I'm not just muttering and you can't hear me. I think I've gotten that right. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit of a matte, but not a full ½ centimeter. Yep, good. Okay. And I'm actually thinking that I'm going to make, again, casing from the catalog, I'm going to ombre it a little bit. And in the new mini catalog are brushes that look like this. They actually have white bristles, because I was impatient and didn't wait for Stampin' Up! To come out with theirs. And they are very fun. You've probably seen me use them on another Facebook Live. And yeah, I brushed too much of it off. Just ombreing this up a little bit, so it's not quite so stark. You can see I have no color left on there. I'm going to move to some Pool Party. And this is going to be reasonably subtle. I'm not getting any down there. I think I'm going to go back and darken up here a little bit more. There we go. Okay, Part of the deal is knowing when to stop. So I'm just rubbing this on my grid paper and I don't see any color. I'll probably run it on my chamois just a little bit. And done. Okay, close these up until I figure out what I'm doing next. I'm gonna bring in, this is a Whisper White thick card base. As you've probably heard by now, we are phasing out this Whisper White as it sells out because, oh, how sad is it that the plant that makes Whisper White closed down permanently because of COVID. You know, we all knew businesses were going to go, but who thought it would be a paper mill? Hopefully those workers find something else to do. So that's how that's going to go at some point. And now I just need to figure out what I'm going to put on there. So I think part of what I'm going to do, looking for an appropriate piece of scrap here. There we go. Cut a strip of that. And I think I'm going to mount up my happy birthday because, you know, I love my happy birthdays. Yeah, so the DSP, one side is the stripe and the other side is popsicles, icy poles. And there's my happy birthday. I'm gonna pull my thank you off of this block. I got a class on Saturday and I've started prepping for that and have some of my blocks in use for that. So that's going to go on there. I want to flag this. So I'm pulling in my banners Pick-a-Punch, and I'm going to flag at least one side of it. Get in there. I found that even though it's got those nice channels, I want to look on the back side and make sure that it's aligned as much as possible. If you do not have a Take-a-Pick tool, I don't know what you are waiting for. It is so useful. There we go. And I may call that good for now. I'm going to stamp that in the Bermuda Bay. Now, usually with photopolymer stamps, I recommend that you put something to cushion underneath. So I'm going to bring in my piercing mat, and I just protect this one that I stamp on with a bit of grid paper. Go. And that's going to go on there. Oh my goodness. Need my fingers to work. And I think I'm going to use some of the Designer Series paper and my punch. So, I'm going to make a cone out of this one. And let's see what we got here. That doesn't make sense to me, so I'm just looking for places that are easy to punch, that make visual sense to me. And I think I'm going to wind up trimming out a strip to use. Just because of how a little strangely that's angled. Okay, so there's one. Let's see what else we've got here. Two. And three. Okay, let's start with that and see how we go. Now, I remember from a tip from another set that we'd had. It's a little wide. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a drop of glue here. Makes it easier to build the cone. Oh, really? Come on. So, how do I want to do this one? That looks good. So, by having the strip there, it means I'm not just trying to, it makes it easier to build the cone. Especially if I get my glue unplugged. See, I can balance them where I want them, how I want them. I want them to be cattywampus, I can do that. Yeah, let's do another little bit of glue in there. And then I can just snip it off. Okay, I have that big scissors charm on here. How can I lose it? There we go. So that makes a pretty stable multi-layer ice cream cone that I can put on there. Okay, I'm having trouble here. So I'm going to glue this on. So that's one less thing that I'm fighting with. Because I know I want that on there. So Glenn has been allowed back in his office and he is thrilled and he is there. Which leaves me here with Noah for most of the day. So I'm glad that I'm glad that Glenn's happy to be back in his office, but I'm glad that Noah's happy to have his Kong. I'm going to go ahead and punch the other end of this. Because I have a feeling that's the wrong one. I feel like what I'm going to do is put that down there. And this more up above. Playing with the idea of some ribbon somewhere too. And because it's got all these other colors here, like Bumblebee, I've got Bumblebee ribbon, terracotta tile, I can come up with something. There's all kinds of ribbon options. Old olive. Choices, choices, decisions, decisions. Okay, that there. That there. Let's get that on. With some dimensionals. So my Swari's watching. She always has really nice, elaborate layers, and I am always in awe and jealous. I don't know how to, I don't see things the way she does. I tend to keep them more simple because I get worried that there's just too much. See, like right now I'm like, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that, and I may call it quits. Because otherwise it looks like a hot mess to me. So someday I'll figure out how to do lots like my soiree does. Come here, come here, come here. Maybe it's my hands that aren't working right. Noah has started sleeping a lot better, and Glenn has started being the one getting up with him when he wakes up in the night. So I've been staying up a little bit later at night than I should, really. So there could be a lot of user error here today. Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. I may add some sparkle. I spent the last couple days playing with what is it? The Fine Art Suite in the new catalog, which is also yummy, yummy. That has a lot of gold. We'll do some clear, basic rhinestone jewels. Again, I'm always not sure where, but I want to brighten it up just a bit. Yeah. Now I could have come in and sprinkled stamped sprinkles on those, but I kind of liked it as it was. I'm pretty pleased with that one for a first go. I'm going to set that aside. Let's see what else I can come up with. I did see something that someone had made that I thought was really cute. So I'll see if I can do a good version of it here. And I think I'm going to have people make it in my class on Saturday. I need to figure out use that one. I'm going to start with this. Background. I'm actually going to jump a step here because I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be a square or a rectangle card, and I think it's probably going to be a square card. And I'm going to start here then with a piece of soft suede. It'd be nice if I could actually punch the entire thing. and not cut off one of the little bits there. And I'm going to cut a triangle. Where's my sprinkles? Paper. Okay. That's cute. Okay, so now I know what I'm doing here. Sorry. Let's make sure you're still going. Yes, you are. Okay. That's 10. I have a feeling this would perhaps wind up looking better on a 3x3 little gift enclosure, but I find I don't use those, so I'm gonna do some workarounds on that, I think. Take this one and cut it down to 10.5 to make it a square card. Okay, let's see where we're at here. See where we are. Okay, so I have a base and I have a layer. And then I think I have that cut already. I wonder if that's gonna work well. You see where I'm going with this? Let me see how my drawing is today. If I can find the right pen. And that it works. Yep. Okay. I am not an artist, which is one reason I really like stamping. Well, let's start with that and see where we go. And how are we going to do that? Oh, obviously that one's too big. I will be right back. I'm going to cut another circle. Let's see how we go. Oh. Oh, so you can see what I drew? Can you see? Oh, the camera's over on this side, Nancy. So no, you wouldn't have been able to see. And you still can't. Jeez. I don't know, do bears have whiskers? I don't know. What I really need to do is just use the faces from the... Now I can't remember what it's called again. Roseanne, help me out. The animal ones that are retiring out of the winter mini. Winter, jeez. December, the holiday mini. Okay, let's pull it together here. So, how are we going to do the happy birthday? Let me pull in a happy birthday from another set. Because as much as I said I really liked having the big one, not on this card. So I do know that on the art gallery is a nice small happy birthday because I just used it a lot. That works nicely on there. Okay, so mount that up. Go. And I'm going to be right back. I'm going to dry emboss this. Because why not add a little more texture and interest to this fun card. And what else do we have going on? Now these are retired. These pom-poms from last year's beginning of the year catalog, but that's going to be perfect on there. So that's what I'm going to do. glue dot. Hi, Beck. Thank you, Roseanne. Yes, Menagerie Mix-Up. I'm sorry that one's retiring because that's got cute, cute faces. There we go. There's that. Let's wait to stick down. How about? And we're going to attempt to do a little more coloring in. I'm going to pull in this. I'm probably just ruining it. That's what it usually happens when I try to color in anything that's not pre-drawn. I think maybe I'm going to call that quits and get it assembled here before I come up with something else to mess it up. Now at an angle or straight on. I think straight on, maybe. As we find our missing blue dot, our dimensionals that I just had out. There we go. When it's all right in front of you, you can't see anything. There we go. So there's that one. Like I said, it might, there's a 3x3 size. That would be really cute as a gift enclosure. But if I make them, they sit here. I've got a whole box of them here that I tend not to use. So this at least I can put in an envelope and mail. So there's that one. And that one. Should we try a third? Get these out of the way. What might we do? Well, let's do some stamping. Let's stamp some popsicles. So Beck, would you call these if you're still here, would you call these icy poles, or would you call them popsicles, or what would you call them? Don't know if she's still here. So this is, for the popsicle, it's a two-step stamping. And I've seen it done a couple different ways. Here it is solidly the same color. I've seen it done where they stamp off the top one. This is how they did it on the On Stage at Home. And I suppose you can make them bigger or smaller depending on how much you overlap. Let's play with that one more time. There we go. Yeah, it's interesting. Let's try some in other colors. On a stick is an icy pole. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, and in the US, they're popsicles. In Mexico or Spanish, they're paletas. That I learned while I lived in Arizona. So what color? Shall we do some Blackberry Bliss? Oh, I need to lubricate that track there, apparently. There we go. I really like that one. I don't dislike other ones. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so if you find that your this is really stiff, you can lubricate this track. Either WD-40 comes in like a glue pen type thing, but WD-40 in a pen, if you can't find that, just spray it on a cotton swab and run it in there, or take like a birthday candle or a crayon and the wax in there. And just going back and forth can help or not. But yeah, I need to remember to do that before I put it away. And by not having it easy, I get ink on me. So what other color shall we do to go with these two? How about Old Olive? Clean these off. Yes, in the UK they're ice lollies. Full on. Yeah. So now I've got a variety. They aren't all the same size, but that's okay. to do some cutting. And I love my paper snips, but for the first big cuts, I like these bigger ones. I think those three are the ones I'm going to do. You may see, once again, my big tip for doing hand cutting or fussy cutting as we call it, is I really keep my snips pretty still and move the paper. And I can control things by changing how I angle my snips. So on the straight, there's not much change, but you see my scissors really aren't moving on the curve. It's the paper that gets turned. Paula, how's your dad doing? I saw the updates in emails, but don't know if you know a little bit more. Okay, so there are those. Now let's do some sticks. So I'm going to pull out the cinnamon cider for this. And I'm going to do 4, even though I really only need 3, because who knows what gets messed up along the way. And I've got the paper space, so. And then there's 2 different fill options. One is more solid, and this one is more wood grain. So I'm going to try that, I think, today. I think that's cute. And there we go. And more of the fussy cutting. And again, for the quote-unquote rough cuts, these big scissors are just quick and easy. And I hope you all know that you can get your scissors sharpened. Any good knife sharpener person should be able to do them for you. And it makes such a difference, especially if you've been using them on paper for a little while. In fact, I think on the rest of these, I'm going to try to remember not to cut off at the top, because that gives me, again, more of a space to get stuff on here. And I see Noah has finished his Kong. More of a space to get things onto. Did you understand what I was saying there? Yeah. Just like we put the strip behind the ice cream scoops, it gives us more of a tab to glue onto. That's what I'm trying to say. So back to sharpening scissors. I had some of those really cheap from IKEA. I don't know, is it like $1.99 for a pack of 3 or something at one point? Scissors, and I paid a heck of a lot more than I had paid for the scissors to get them sharpened. But all of a sudden, what were okay scissors to let anybody use became really pretty good sharp scissors to have around. And I guess we'll get rid of that one that I cut short before I thought that through. So, you know, is it worth it? I don't know, but so there's 1, 2, 3 popsicles. And we're going to think about how we're going to mount those up, because I haven't thought that through yet. But I'm thinking some of that beautiful, where is it here? Raspberry Bliss stripe. Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Just to start by putting that down to the right length. And I will be right back. I'm gonna cut a label out of the middle. Okay. Okay, so I have cut a stitched nested label out of the center of this, which nobody will ever know except you and I. Because that stripe back there, that's actually purple posy. That's not white. So that's cool. There's a bigger one still that I maybe should have done, but we're going to make this one work. So, okay. Let's get some gluing happening. Oh, they admitted him? Yeah. You know. Sometimes you just gotta go with it. Are they letting anyone in to be with him, or is that all shut down because of the number of cases? Okay. I love being able to cut out of the middle of the layer. I'm not like super frugal fanny, but that one's just a no-brainer. Yeah, that would be reassuring, I think, to know that you've got family and friends who can peek in on them. So I really like this sweet. It's fun, it's cheerful, it's good for all ages, because who doesn't like ice cream, right? Most people like ice cream. And I'm just trying to figure out kind of layout and placement and sentiment issues. And I'm a little late on ribbon because I just glued down that layer, but I may still come up with some or not. I always love the ribbon, and then I'm really bad about using it. I don't know what I'm doing. If I put that down there and put these more up here. Let's try this. You're really seeing the creative process in action with a couple of these today. And I've decided that let's glimmer these up a little bit. So I've got my Wink of Stella glitter pen here. And I'm adding, you probably won't be able to see it on the camera, unfortunately, but I'm adding, this adds shimmery sparkle. Which is very fun. Whoops, and it does make the ink run a bit, so gotta be kind of careful. Here we go. Okay. So, let's see what we've got going here. How to do it, how to do it. Decisions. Okay, I'm gonna pop this up. And goodness. Put a glue dot on the stick end and a dimensional on the icy pole end. And they'll be easy to stick on, I believe. Glue dot. There we go. Really easy. Especially when we take the sticky part off the dimensional. Now the question is, angle or straight? Can you hear Noah snoring? I can. Angle, she says. Well, sorry, too late. Needs something more, yes? But not those. Just thinking about what I've got. I'm just looking through here, seeing what I've got. These are long retired out of a paper pumpkin kit. But I don't think they add anything. So I'm going to wait because I do have something coming in a box today that might be the answer, and just leaving it as is might be the answer. And I'm going to put another piece of Purple Posy inside to write on. So I think I am going to call it done for today. And I will bring in my other cards for you to see again. This is the Ice Cream Corner Suite from the upcoming January to June 2021 mini catalog. And here we go. 1, 2, 3 cards that I made today. I think you can catch a little bit of the glimmery effect from the Wink of Stella. It's really cool on the light. So there you go. Thanks for joining me today. All of this will be posted on my blog tomorrow, and with the details on everything. If you do not have a demonstrator in Australia, I would love to be able to help you out. I will send you out catalogs. I have rewards and customer appreciation and all the bells and whistles you could possibly want. I love to help my customers and my team members fulfill their crafting dreams. So reach out to me if I could be of help to you. And I will be back. I believe my plan is to be back again next week, just before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas. So, yes, I will see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.